Today I've got another fun battery review. So this is the EG4 314 amp hour wall mount battery. So this I picked up from Signature Solar, and I'll have my Signature Solar discount code below. But with this, they have both the indoor version and the outdoor version of this battery. This happens to be the indoor version, and that's what we're going to be reviewing today. Now with that, we're going to go over the specifications and the features on the outside, and then we're going to do a complete teardown and look at the quality of the components. Now this is a UL listed battery, but even with that, it's very important to make sure that is a quality built battery. But you need to do the teardown to really make sure. And then from there, we're going to charge it up. We're going to do a complete capacity test, see how well did it test out. And of course, we're going to finish off with the summary. Let's begin. On the top, you have 5 positive connections and then 5 negative. So it does have these built-in bus bars up on the top. And you can see how massive that it is on the inside. So that's the positive bus bar, and that's going to be your negative. You're going to have your communications up on top. So this is going to be your CAN connection, RS-45, COM1, and COM2. You're also going to have a reset button, and then you also have some dry connections. And of course, you have your ground screw. It does come with some mounting hardware that comes with it, these brackets. It does have a spot for an antenna, which comes with, and this is going to be for your Wi-Fi. Now, the front cover itself, it does show alarm status, run status, and then shows your approximate battery SOC. So you have 25%, 50, 75, and 100. Even though this is a nice, clean design, I do like my 280 amp hour a little bit better. I like this front LED much better. You can see it from across the room, and it just has a nicer appearance to me. On this side, you have your meter breaker. Now, it does say 125 amp, but that is going to be per side. So this is 125, and that is 125. It's actually a 250. And on the inside, you could actually see that. You can see the connections. There's one connecting to one side, the other connecting to the other side. So it is a 250 amp breaker. It does come with some nice handles as well. And then here's the sticker on the side. So it says nominal voltage is 51.2 volts, 314 amp hours, 16,000 watt hours. It has the voltage range and also has the temperatures for it. With the ribbon cable removed, here is the back of the front cover. It is quite heavy, so these are pretty robust cases. Taking a look on the inside, there's a lot to take in. So let me go through everything that I'm seeing. So the first thing that I see is it does have 2 fire suppression modules that are mounted on top. It does have a pair of 4-gauge wires on the inside. This is extremely nice. This is good to see. Very nice crimp job. You can see the crimps there on the positive. So this is going to be able to flow the 200 amps that they have listed for that BMS. That bus bar is massive. Look at the thickness of it. So you can see here's the back side of that circuit breaker. Once again, you can see that each side has a connection. And then it's connected down here to the input, which then goes to this top cell. Make sure it's nice and tight, and it is. Look at the crimps, though. Those are nice crimps. Very nice. So it does have these disconnects, which is pretty interesting. So you can see these right here. And you can see that one end goes into your terminals up on top. So you've got your double 4-gauge that goes into your BMS. And then out of that then connects to the batteries here. So these are all welded. You can see that they have the marks. These are actually really good welds. That's nice. Here's your connection for that external Wi-Fi antenna. I'm guessing this is the Bluetooth module right here. You have this cable, which connects to the front cover, which then connects to this daughter board, which is basically for essentially displaying the screen. Here's your communication board up on top. And it also has some yellow glue kind of holding things in place. Now, this is nice because it's actually metered. It's not, we're just going to throw a bunch of glue on it and use excess. You can see there's a little bit just to help retain your Bluetooth module, also for the connection for the Wi-Fi. You see the capacitors on this daughter board just to hold those in place. There's another one right there. As far as the different connections, just so they don't back up, once again, there and there, but they didn't go hog wild, which is really nice to see. Cable management. So you can see that for the balance leads, they are inside the sleeve. It then runs down in the center, and it is zip tied all the way through. They did try to hold this positive and negative wire against these heavy duty 4-gauge wires here. So they zip tied that on. Does appear to have potentially a fuse right there. Now the balance leads, this is a little bit different from what I'm seeing. So the balance leads and the temperature sensors, and it looks like 4 temperature sensors. I see it says T4. They're actually connected to the bus bars themselves. They're not screwed on. It looks like, almost looks like they're have some sort of a clip to clip onto the bus bars. So I haven't seen that before. But that's, I mean, it's definitely a good way to do it. I'm going to take these little screws off so I can see this a little bit better. And then once again, you can see the temperature sensors. So here's one. So this is T4, T3, it's T1, and then there's T2. I don't think I've ever seen a case this robust as far as how it's put together. And let me explain what I mean. So you have these metal bars on the side that are screwed in, which hold this black piece of plastic in place, which then you can see that the bus bars fit nicely in. There's a notch to kind of hold this in place so the cell can't come out. You'll also have this green strap holding it together. I mean, it's very well thought out, very, very robust for sure. As far as the cells, I mean, it's going to be hard for me to tell who makes the cells in this. What I can say is it does have nice releases on it. And what's interesting with these, they actually have relief or release points right there. So if pressure was to build up, you could see exactly where it would tear and let the gases out instead of having like one big pop to where it's just a single piece and it just, you know, kind of explodes out like I've seen on other cells. If for some reason you had a venting issue, this just kind of opens up like that instead of, you know, just a big burst. So that's, you haven't seen that before, so that is kind of cool. A lot of things in this battery I haven't seen before, and I've gone through quite a few batteries, but I'm very impressed with seeing 4-gauge cable on the inside, a pair of them. For the typically what I've seen in other brands is whenever that they have 200 amp BMS, they'll just take a bunch of 6-gauge and then just connect them up, and you'll see like 3, 4, 6-gauge wires all connected in. And I don't think adding that many cables together is the best way because you might not get a very good crimp and you might add some resistance into the circuit. But with a pair, I'm completely fine with that. I think they did a good job. And then I find it interesting with these negative disconnects. I haven't seen that on a single battery before either. My guess is it makes it easier to replace the BMS to where you don't have to remove these nuts. It just seems like a quicker and easier way to replace the BMS. I do find that once again, it's something that I haven't seen before, that quick disconnect when it comes to a BMS. The other thing that I notice as well is on the BMS, I'm not seeing all of the connections with a ton of glue holding it together to where it's almost impossible to replace the BMS. This one, I mean, you just remove these and then just pop them out. Wouldn't be that hard to do. One thing I forgot to mention, which makes a lot of sense now with these disconnects up on top, the front cover is actually in two parts. You have your lower half and your upper half. And with that, you could actually change out the BMS without even getting close to the cells. So I'm guessing they did this just for ease of use for replacing parts out without having to get down to the cell level. So I've got the battery all charged up now. Next is the capacity test, and we'll see what the total capacity of the battery is. Looks like 321.99 amp hours, or rounded up to 322. So that's actually quite good for a 314 amp hour battery. In summary, the EG4 Wallmount battery tested out extremely well. Very impressed with the total amp hour output, but also the build quality. I liked what I saw on the inside. Great cable management. Everything was super heavy duty. If you look at the bus bars, how it's put together, how the cells are held in place, the BMS, the heat sinks and everything. Just a really solid build. It is also UL listed, and that's something that is extremely important these days. So not only does it have UL 1973, but it also has UL 9540A. Make sure that you have UL 9540 whenever that you're building a system that may connect to the grid. But like I said, very good battery, extremely robust as far as the build quality, would highly recommend it. Thanks for watching Mike's Solar Garage. I had a feeling that it was separate, but oops.